Let's get it. Another fine day here in the Carolinas, and I'm so glad to see it. Hope everyone is well as always, and that you're able, like myself, to get out and enjoy this day. This is my second week today, being the second week. After I pulled a muscle in my back, and it's still bothering me, so I'm not going to get on my bike again today, which is somewhat aggravating. But in my prayers today, I asked the Most High what was the meaning behind it. Not only allowing the pull muscle, but also allowing it to linger on for so long. And I'm going to give you the short answer he gave me. It goes back to a recording I did on that Monday, I believe, when I injured my back. And it was one about motives. Where does your motives lie? And I said, okay. He said, are you willing to keep on getting out here and doing what I asked you to do when it's not about the workout? I said, oh boy. I said, yes I am. I'm gonna have to be. But one, I don't have no choice. So I think on the most part he was asking me, was I gonna continue to delight in him and continue to enjoy our time here in the secret place, even though I'm not able to work out like I'm used to and like I want to do. I said, yes sir, I am, and I will continue to. So that was the short answer. And that's all we're going to go with for now. And as I was saying, I had a great thought I wanted to share today. And it was one the Most High gave me last week that I was somewhat hesitant to share it. And I understand why now. For one, it was incomplete. And for two, it's not going to be another popular recording. But it is. We love the covering, but we hate the rules. We love the covering, but we hate the rules. And my second thought behind that is the rich young ruler's denial versus Sarah respecting and obeying Abraham. The rich young ruler's denial versus Sarah's respecting and obeying Abraham. And the text the Most High gave me was Psalms 119 and 2. And it says, blessed are they that keeps his testimonies and seek him with the whole heart. And that's the King James Version. And now I'm going to read the New Living Translation of Psalms 119 and 2. It says, joyful are those who obey his laws and search him with all their hearts. And like I said, we was looking over the rich young ruler and Sarah. And the rich young ruler's story is found in Mark 10, 17 through 27. As he was setting out on a journey, a man ran up to him and knelt before him and asked him, "Good teacher, what shall I do that I may inherit eternal life?" And Yahushua said to him, "Why do you call me good? No one is good except the Most High alone. You know the commandments. Do not murder, do not commit adultery, do not steal, do not give false testimony, do not defraud, honor your father and mother." And he said to him, "Teacher, I have kept all these from my youth." Looking at him, Yahushua showed love to him and said to him, "One thing you lack. Go and sell all you possess and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven, and come follow me." But he was deeply dismayed by these words, and he went away grieving, for he was one who owned much property. And Yahushua, looking around, said to his disciples, "How hard it would be for those who are wealthy to enter into the kingdom of the Most High." And the disciples were amazed at his words. But Yahushua responded again and said to them, "Children, how hard it is to enter the kingdom of the Most High. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to enter the kingdom of the Most High." And they were even more astonished and said to him, "Then who can be saved?" Looking at them, Yahushua said, "With people it is impossible, but not with the Most High. For all things are possible with the Most High." And next we'll look at Sarah's life and her obedience and respect to her husband, Abraham. And that the first verse is out of 1 Peter 3 and 6. Just as Sarah obeyed Abraham, following him and having regard for him as head of their house, calling him Lord, and you have become her daughters if you do what is right, without being frightened by any fear, that is, being respectful towards your husband, but not giving in to intimidation, nor allowing yourself to be led into sin, nor to be harmed. And then Genesis 18, 1 through 15. And we're not going to read all of this. I just wanted to read one part of the verse. And this is verse 3 or 4, I believe. "And since you honored your servant with this visit, let me prepare some food to refresh you before you continue on your journey." "All right," they said, "do as you have said." So Abraham ran back to the tent and said to Sarah, "Hurry, get 3 large measures of your best flour, knead it into dough, and bake some bread." And I'm going to hold right there. And I do encourage us to go on and read through the whole script. And we'll see how by Sarah's obedience, she was able to inherit the promise, which was the child. Yes, she laughed. And I think because she was just imagining in her mind the joy it would be to have a child. And the joy would be to hold a child. And to give birth to a child after so long. But also, I'm sure she laughed out of doubt. And like, this is impossible. Who do you think she is? But see, once the Most High confirmed that she laughed, the promise really set in, the faith set in. But I brought that script up to show the difference. Like I said, the rich young ruler's denial compared to Sarah's respecting and obeying Abraham. And see, her honoring her husband and respecting and doing what he told her to do, they were blessed. She was blessed with what she always wanted, and in a child. But she could have easily, as some folks would have done, said, why do I have to go make bread? Who are these people? Why this? Why that? But she did what he told her to do and was blessed because of it. She didn't question her husband. Even when he said, well, the Most High told me to get up and go into a foreign land, which he will show us. So I don't know where we're going. We're basically going to jump into a camper these days and just ride until the Most High tell us where we're going. And most women folk wouldn't like that. They were like, I'm not leaving my house. We finally got this house paid for. You talking about moving again. But the whole point with the rich young ruler, and see, it's all about honor and respect, following the Most High's will and command for our lives. You see, the rich young ruler, Yahushua knew what he was doing when he named off those latter commands, and he didn't name the first one as far as love the Most High with all your heart and have no other Elohim before him, and to love your neighbor. See, he already knew the fella had lacked those two commandments off top. That's why he just asked him about the latter commands, like I said, as far as do not murder, do not commit adultery, do not steal, do not give false testimony, do not defraud, and honor your father and mother. See, those are the basic ones we all find ourselves able to do because they are the laws of the land. And if we don't do them, then we will basically have repercussions by the laws of the land. But at the same time, when it comes to honoring the Most High and following his will and loving him and doing what he tells us to do, we don't want to do it. But yet and still we want his covering. We want him to protect us, we want him to keep us, we want him to bless us. We want all the things that comes with the relationship without obedience in the relationship. We don't want to do what we're told to do when we're told to do it and how we're told to do it. We want to do the exact opposite. What we want to do, when we want to do it, and how we want to do it. But we can't enjoy the Most High's covering on our lives if we're not going to do what he tells us to do. See, there's always going to be rules everywhere you go. And that's why we have to follow the Most High's laws and commands now, going into the Promised Land. Because once we get in the Promised Land, there's going to be rules set up even there. But he's not going to wait until you get there to try to enforce the rules. He's going to make sure you're ready before you get in there. And it's just like living here in the United States. There's rules that we have to follow. Not a whole lot anymore. But there are rules that still set up, or should we say laws, that we have to abide by. And on the most part, we abide by them to stay out of jail or prison. And see, that's what I was thinking about earlier when I was coming over, about how people in the prisons and in jail and youth facilities and mental facilities, a lot of us are there because we didn't want to follow the rules that's set up. Like I said, we want the covering, but we don't want to be obedient. We don't want the laws. We don't want the statutes or the commands that the Most High has put out for us to follow. In order to stay out of jail, in order to stay out of them facilities, which are already a trap for us to fall into. But that's going to be my time. Thank the Most High for a brand new week and being able to get out here and do what he asks us to do, regardless if we're going to be able to get a workout or not. get that sweat on like we love to do, because that part can be addicting. That part can become our reasons for wanting to do. I know it's a motivating factor for me to see how far I can push my body from week to week. But the main motivation always should be in the back of my mind is the Most High's motivation and pleasing Him. And like I always say, having an audience of one. Because basically He don't care about the body, how it looks, how we feel. Yes, He wants us to feel good, He wants us to look good. But as the text said, what was it? I'm going to say it in my own words. We just went over it last week. Physical fitness is important, but not as important as a godly lifestyle. We'll leave it at that. But we have to have and live a godly lifestyle, basically like I've been saying, following the Most High's rules. Following the Most High's rules and doing what He tells us to do from day to day, all day. And that's a heart chasing our son. Like I was saying, we have to follow the Most High's rules all day, every day, and do what He tells us to do. And yes, it is important to get out here and exercise and keep I'm not going to say a daily routine up, but to keep a normal routine going to where you can keep yourself in pretty good shape. So you can live a godly lifestyle. So you can live, breathe, and have your being in the Most High, which is through His Ruach HaKodesh. But as the text also says, once that spirit leaves the body, you're going to join the Most High, or find yourself in hell. But the whole point to that is you got to have a body to do what the Most High will have you to do here on this earth. But like I said, that's my time. I'm waiting on the wife now. We're going to do this walk together today. So stay up and keep pushing forward in the right direction. Shalom. Hey. Get on this side, baby. It's the white trimmer. Y'all ain't seen in the country on months of Sundays. In a month of Sundays. But I invited her out today and she said yes. So here we is getting our walk in. Have a good day, good baby.
And I said I wasn't doing any more work. All right.
It's always gorgeous out here. Sunny or rainy. I was saying the other day, or the last 2 days, I enjoy the green, the different shades of green. It's not always about the color with the flowers, but beautiful shades of green. I just love it.
Great time. Father's creation.
Yep.
Another day above ground and beat any day below.
Right. Get some love. No, stay over there, buddy.
So I'll be running.
through their head. They're like, hey, my master letting me come to you. You must be your people. See, look at that green.
Various shades. Olive. I don't know. Pea green, hunter green, forest green. Yeah. Even lime. A lime green.
I started going to walk around one time and then go back around with you. And I said to myself, no.
Wait. Did you just get here?
About 20, 30 minutes ago. I did my order today.
Are you still recording?
Oh yeah.
What's your thought?
We enjoy the covering, but hate the commands. We love the covering, and I compared the rich young ruler to Sarah.
Okay.
And the rich young ruler, he was so amped to tell Yahushua that he followed all the commands.
That's right.
And Yahushua told him to follow the commands.
He was called out.
Yeah. And Yahushua basically told him about the commands that he knew he was keeping.
Right.
Like, honor your father and mother, don't kill, steal,
Right.
defraud, and basically all the other ones. But he omitted the two he knew the most important ones that he knew.
That money.
That and loving the Most High
With all your heart.
and have no Elohim before him,
That's right.
and loving your neighbor. See, he omitted them because he knew those were the two the young man needed to work on. And he gave him instructions on how to work on it.
Right.
Basically, selling all he had and come follow him.
That's right.
And see, to me, he was giving him an invitation to become a disciple. Just like that. But he said, no, that's too much.
Right.
That's too much to give up.
And how oftentimes do we, as individuals, take more stock in material possessions
Yeah.
and want to hold on to those things that in the end won't benefit you at all.
Not at all. And then I spoke on Sarah and her loving and respecting her husband and doing what he asked her to do instead of saying, well, why I got to get up and cook food for them?
Right.
Who is these people?
Why I gotta clean up?
Yeah. But she just said she did what he told her to do. And she ended up getting everything she ever wanted, a child,
Yeah,
which she was never able to have in the beginning.
absolutely. She was barren. She was barren.
But she basically was someone who followed the laws and commands and statutes.
Absolutely.
All of them by honoring her head of
She
her
was
household.
righteous.
Yep. Like her husband.
Absolutely. She laughed about it.
Oh yeah. And I spoke on that too. And I said that she laughed partly out of doubt, but also partly probably out of joy of saying her imagining,
Like a little giggle.
right, what if I really could have a child? What if I really could enjoy holding a baby?
Right. And let me say this. If she had stuck with her initial giggle with doubt, however, she trusted in the Most High, and her faith kind of superseded what she initially thought about that, because they were both old in age.
Yeah.
They were past the childbearing age, I think, as the Bible described it.
Especially after you checked her.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was speaking about earlier. After he checked her, that really made her faith steady and solid.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, okay, he even know my thoughts.
That's right.
So he know what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm. Unequivocal.
But it just goes to show we taking the Most High as his word and doing his word telling us to do.
That's
Even
right.
if we don't like it or understand it, then we can enjoy not only the relationship with the Most High, but also his covering and protection.
That's right. And I think with that,
How y'all?
just having that faith in the Most High. Because without that, there's nothing. I mean, there's no need in praying or doing anything if you don't believe what you say is going to come to pass prior to it even coming to pass. Because it manifests in the spirit first, and then you'll see that natural manifestation. But you have to go through the process.
Yeah.
It's always a process of steps. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about taking him at his word.
Yep.
If he says do this, then okay, I'm going to do that. Even if I don't understand it now, I'm going to just do it
Yeah.
and take him off face value.
That's right.
Especially if you already had a history with him.
Yeah.
You know, just like I was talking earlier about my back. When I prayed earlier, most time, why you allowing this to linger? Just like I was saying, I thought I was pretty much over it the weekend.
Mhm.
But last night, that muscle started back spasming. And he basically said,
Or the gravel.
are you going to continue to do what I tell you to do, even though you're not going to be out here working out, which you love to do, which is a big part of your excitement and draw and motivation to get out here. But are you going to still continue to get out here and share a thought for the day when you're hurt?
Yeah, because that's the initial purpose for you even getting out.
Yep.
Is to be in a space where you can, where the Most High can use you and you be creative and listening to his words or his inspiration so that you can share. And that's just another way of showing you. No, you may not be on your bike. You may be having some pains in your body, but still that fortitude to keep moving forward with the goal to share.
I like your scooter, buddy.
Don't leave it, bud.
Hey, boy, how you? I love telling the kids I like their bikes or their scooters or skates,
Yeah.
especially when I'm on mine.
Take it as
Because they be like motivated. Like he riding a big bike. I'm like, he like mine? But yeah, I was telling him, I'm going to keep on getting out here.
Yeah.
Keep doing what I got to do. And I was reminded of the last recording I made. Hey, buddy. The same day I injured my back. And the Most High had asked me that morning, where are my motives?
Right.
I said, okay, you know where my motives are? So I guess the last couple of weeks, he was like, okay, I'm going to test that. And see if the motives are where you say they are, or you just talking.
Right. And it also goes into the line of consistency.
Yeah.
You know, he wants us to be consistent and to go through. And not all things we go through are bad.
No.
Sometimes it's about our perception of those things. When they come, good, bad, or indifferent, you know, but you have to have a renewed mind in order to embrace those things that you would normally say is, oh my goodness, this is so bad. So if you don't embrace those things when they come, even the good, if you're more apt to be a negative person or a negative thinker, when the good things come, you'll still try to find bad in it. And that's why the word speaks about the renewing of the mind. And that's not only for your sake, but it's for the sake of people that you can influence and to show yourself approved. It's not about reading the word. You can read the word all you want to, but you have to apply that word.
Walk it out.
You have to walk it out. And that's in everyday living. That's not just when you in front of the camera, in front of Zoom, business meeting, or whatever your life may look like normally. But that's all the time, even in the grocery store.
Yeah.
You know, you can't get mad if somebody grabbed that last bottle of juice and you wanted it. Come on, you have to really know what it is, your purpose, your intent, right? Like you said, walking that word out.
Even when it's not seemingly to your benefit.
Or popular.
That's what I was saying about this talk for today. We enjoy the covering, we don't enjoy the roots. We keep that covering.
Right. And that's when you find your values and your belief system is in the Most High. Because there are many gods, but
Nice fit, bro.
are you in tune with the, I guess you could say, rules and regulations of the Most High? You know?
The laws, statutes, and
The
commandments.
laws, statutes, and commandments. That's right.
Come on over, baby. Come on.
I lost my thought.
It's all right. I ain't them rules we
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
We like to enjoy, even in relationships, but we don't want to set them boundaries or follow the boundaries other folks set up for us to follow
Right.
in dealing with them.
Right. Because we are in covenant.
Right.
Just like a marriage is. You're in covenant with that person. That means you've established a promise with that person. And the foundation of those promises is based on the word.
Has to be.
Because if not, you know, like us, 21 years married, if we had not had that foundation coming in,
You might as well say 22 years.
22 years. So what I'm saying is that,
We was talking about that foundation coming in from the beginning.
right. And you know, I think a lot of times when there's an established covenant, particularly with the Most High, you have to follow what He's already set up.
Yep.
You can't be creating nothing. You gotta follow what's already been set up.
And it's easy to want to bend the rules. Like I say, when things ain't going your way inside of the set up rules,
Right.
you want to create as you go,
Mhm.
bending the rules for your benefit.
Right.
But see, Sarah, she didn't do it. Even when she wasn't too happy with what was said. I shouldn't say wasn't happy because she was ecstatic, but she was doubtful that that great thing could happen to her.
Yeah.
But like I said, she already had faith in her husband from the giddy up, because when he said, let's go, we're going off to a land that I don't know where we're going.
And I'm not familiar.
I don't know where we're going. Like I said, it's just like we picking up, buying an RV, selling the house, and we just gonna ride till the Most High say, okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
And a woman would be like, oh, really?
I know.
I don't want to sell my house.
What about safety? What about protection?
Yep.
You know, how are we going to get through this?
And
You
they
know,
went through all of that.
women are very emotional, and we really have to get those emotions in check, because if not, we will not be able to follow the lead of the man that's been placed in our life to guide us.
The head.
The head.
Okay,
That's
baby,
right.
we're gonna end this now.
All right.
My back is total. And as I always like to say, we'll say together today, stay up and keep pushing forward in the right direction. Shalom.